Right. We would like to go over a small bit of what we said last time to you in the last presentation, who we are. We are a group of people who go door to door. We give information to the ordinary person that there is something wrong in the country. No, they're beginning to realise and wake up to the fact that their way of life has been destroyed before their eyes. By who and how and why, they don't know. The Masonic media, and we will prove later on that this is beyond reasonable doubt that it is Masonic, have done their dirty work very well indeed, and their propaganda has lodged in the minds of the people. However, in Ireland we have what is called, and rightly so, a lawful censorship of the press and the media in general. But we have what is also an unlawful censorship by the press. They choose what they wish to write about, and certainly the Constitution and the Catholic way of life in Ireland has now been attacked unceasingly for many, many years by the journalist. Article 65 of the 1920 Government of Ireland Act continues to poison and erode the minds of the people. Our Gaelic culture and our 1500 years of Catholic civilization are now really under threat. For the first time we can see it, and the ordinary person can see it. Those responsible sit in Dáil Éireann, the four courts, Dublin Castle, the universities. The universities are rightly called a murder machine by the late Patrick Pearse, our great hero and patriot. A number of years ago, high-ranking German diplomat who had studied Irish history declared it to be the saddest history of all. Naturally, the politicians in Ireland didn't like that, because they want to think that that we have put all this behind us. We haven't. The dismantling and destruction of this nation is not the work of an invader, but by all our enemies from within. The 1937 Constitution was passed by referendum, and the figures, I think, if I can recall correctly, for the passing of the referendum was 685,000 and maybe a few hundreds for the referendum, and about 520,000 against, roughly. These are rough figures. So in the Constitution declared that the triune God was in control. So since 1937 then, the triune God and all that he teaches has been sworn to by every politician and every judge and every member of the executive, and those who, including the Gardaí, the army and so forth, they all have to believe and go by the Constitution in all its power. Unfortunately today we can see that this is no longer so. Government bodies will always seek to overthrow the Constitution. It has been likewise in all nations and in all times, and is now happening in Ireland. For instance, these despotic constitutional criminals, which I call them, could not lawfully give the Masonic banks and bondholders the wealth of the state in 2008. They had to apply, or they had to go by the people, give them a referendum to give it away. They didn't do it. Now, according to a professor of economics, I know it's in UCC or UCD, the final looting of the people's wealth will be over 100 billion euros. Now, we have seen since that, and these politicians know it. They know very well that there would have been cutbacks in the health services and all the rest. So they knew that people would die because of the cutbacks. We know, about 4 years ago, I was speaking to someone, and they were working in a hospital, and they gave me a figure of something like 5,000 people had died at that time because of operations, life-giving operations had to be delayed. Now, the money was given to Masonic bondholders of Germany largely and France. So the people, these bondholders, were more important than the people of Ireland. I think this is treason of the highest sort, because a country is about its people, not about its wealth, but about its people first and foremost. And to guard its people, we had a constitution. We had it enforced at the time that they give away our money. So I would see this, what kind of a crime is this? Certainly is a crime of treason. It certainly is a crime of some sort. I don't know, what can we call it, manslaughter, because the knowledge would be there. When those who gave the money away mess, it's a secret. We cannot hear anything about it. We cannot hear the the bondholders, their names, where they come from, or anything else. It's not revealed. And yes, according to the Constitution, they have to account to us. If they have to account to us, why are they not doing it? It's because they're completely in disobedience against it. Now, can we prove this? We can, yes. The late Gareth Fitzgerald, who was Taoiseach of this country, was a member also of a thing called the Trilateral Commission. The Trilateral Commission was begun and financed by David Rockefeller. Now, during that time, Fitzgerald decided, I don't think off his own bat, I think he got orders from abroad to seek to get a certain man elected to Dáil Éireann. That man's name was Peter Sutherland. Now, Peter Sutherland admitted in an interview, I think, with the Irish Times, not certain, but he admitted that he was an internationalist. He was a globalist. And he said Gareth Fitzgerald was also the same. Now, he declared that Gareth Fitzgerald put him up for election, choose him. Why? Well, I presume he got orders from abroad. Now, we know the law is very clear, or what you call the maxim, that you cannot serve two masters. So Gareth Fitzgerald at that time served a different master to the one he swore to uphold in the Constitution. And he was bound by this Constitution. He is not, no one who disobeys the Constitution or who doesn't swear to it is lawful or licit. Is valid or licit, which means they're unlawful, they're invalid and illicit. So they're not even members of the, they're not even members of the state as regards to being in government or in the judiciary or anything else. I had a meeting one time with the late and great, in my opinion, Judge Rory O'Hanlon. He agreed with what I said about treason. He agreed that the whole of the institutions were now in treason against the Constitution. Judge Rory O'Hanlon was unlawfully dismissed from the presidency of the Law Commission by the late Taoiseach, what was his name again? Previous to Bertie Ahern. He was dismissed anyway unlawfully. He was called in and was told that he should resign. Now, a judge and a Taoiseach cannot confer with one another on these matters. There is the separation of powers, which means that anyone who offends against the separation of powers is breaking the law. I've been told here by my friend that we're nearly 10 minutes are nearly up, and I barely touched on the things that are happening. So what I will do here, I'll tell you what we'll do in future presentations. We will debate more about the money that was given away and the deaths of the thousands of our people. We will debate about the unlawful taxation of the home, and it is unlawful, it goes against the Constitution as unconstitutional, and directly of the Dáil, the judiciary, the executive, that they are all unconstitutional, and we will prove this. The unlawful attacks by what I call the great dehydrator, Hogan, on the people of Ireland by threatening them with the withholding of water if they didn't pay a tax, which was unlawful itself. You cannot tax water, you cannot sell it, privatise it, or anything else, the same as the home. It is forbidden. God gave water, and therefore it is a life-giving thing, and we need it to live, and it was given by God, and the maxim is that what is superior and antecedent to positive law controls positive law, and what controls positive law is the natural law, and the natural law forbids anyone interfering with natural things that are superior and antecedent to the positive law itself. That means that the home and water were there before governments and laws, and therefore you can't touch them. The attacks by Hogan, whom I call the great dehydrator, on the people of this country, and we found going door to door that there was a certain amount of fear by the people that he would turn off the water. He was rewarded instead of punished by another big job in Brussels. He is one of the commissioners, and so he should be brought back by right and face the courts for frightening the people of the Constitution. I will finish here, and hopefully in the next presentation we will go deeper into these matters, and we will show you how deep the treason is from all the institutions of this state. And we'll also show you that treason should be punished and not rewarded.